What is good, YouTube? RCA here with a quick video for you guys. As you can see on the screen, a little bit something different. And for those of you asking, no, RCA has not stopped making 2K videos. I have some more videos coming out soon. Just also play Yu-Gi-Oh on the side when I do get bored and I want to do something different. So I wanted to show you guys, and those of you that are Yu-Gi-Oh fans, anybody that plays Master Duel, I do hop on here sometimes every once in a while to test out my skills. And as you can see, I am in Platinum Tier 3, level 25. And I am not a meta player. I play non-meta, anti-meta. I do not like the new school Yu-Gi-Oh! I just don't. I think it's too easy. I think it's too easy to summon certain things. I think it's too easy to have effects that destroys everything. So my deck that I built is like anti-meta. And I've been able to win with it. So I just wanted to share my experience with that and share how I construct things and how I go about certain duels. Get some of my least favorite decks. One of them being the Eldich. One of them being the Drytron. Whatever you call. I hate those. I hate it so much. I'm going to talk about how I built my deck and why. Certain cards I have in it. And going over some gameplay in the future videos of how I go about my strategy. So let's look at my current deck. All right, those of you that are new to the show, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and on the road to 15,000 subscribers. But this is the current deck I'm running in. I know as soon as you guys see this, you're gonna be like, God damn, that's a lot of cards. Right, I get that. I do have 60 cards in my main deck, 15 in the extra. And the extra, don't even worry about it. I don't even be using those like that. My deck is specifically catered towards being able to draw cards that are pretty much anti-meta. I'm trying to be able to, no matter what battle I get into or what duel I'm in, I'm able to defeat whatever kind of meta they're using at the time. Whether it be the Drytron, whether it be Winged Beast, whether it be DDD, whether it be Eldich, whatever. I hate those, so I try to figure out different ways. One of the main ways is by banishing. A lot of people like to go to the graveyard and be able to summon from the graveyard, send cards to the graveyard to activate this effect, that effect. So I like to be able to banish things so that they cannot do that. Another thing I like to make sure I have is things that can negate effects. Now, I don't use my extra deck that much. I'm not one of those kind of players. So I have to have a lot of different trap cards that can either negate effects, stop people from pulling from the graveyard or from their hand. That Ash Blossom, this is one of the best trap cards to stop that from happening if you're trying to draw cards using, you know, your Pot of Extravagance or Pot of Desires. You need to be able to negate her without having those negate effect cards from, you know, XYZ and stuff like that. So if you're a non-meta player, I think this is a cool deck for you. If you're a meta player, this is not going to appeal to you at all because you're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? That is old. Whatever. I've been able to make it to Platinum 3 on my way to Platinum 1, so I'm winning with it and I'm having a good time playing my way. So another thing I do, every once in a while, I do gain a bunch of life points because I do have soul absorption. I have to banish. My deck is based on banish, but I do not have to banish to win. I do have cards like this Orochi right here that allows me to banish just 8 cards from my deck, which will allow me to summon him to the field from the graveyard or from my hand. So he's more of a defense style for me, but he also has an effect that I can, you know, destroy a monster on the field. But if I have this card on the field with him, I'm able to gain tons of life points, and that helps me out in a lot of battles that I need to draw further. Now, with a banished deck, you have to have Necroface in there because when I summon this monster, I'm able to get all of my cards from banish back into my deck. So I won a lot of battles like that. And of course, you gotta run the Fossil and my girl Sekka. This is one of my favorite cards right here when I'm going up against Eldich, what I'm going to show you in this video. And then, you know, I got a bunch of other stuff. So it doesn't really matter to go through all the cards and what they do. These are some of my favorite trap cards. I have a bunch of stuff in here. And my deck is like, it depends on what I draw is how the strategy and how the game is going to go. There's certain decks that you create and it just does it for you. Every game is going to be the same, and that's how Yu-Gi-Oh is now. You can pull every single card every game. You can summon every monster every game. The way I play depends on the first 5 I get. That's how my duel is going to go, and I can win or lose based on that. And I like that. There's actual strategy to it rather than being able to summon 7 monsters in the first turn every single time you play because your deck is just catered towards an advanced power creep that's in today's day. So let's jump into a quick battle that I had against Eldich the other day. We're going to cut the video after this and we're going to make some more videos. If you guys like this kind of stuff, I can start doing more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. It's going to base on the views. If I get at least 200 views on this video, I'll continue to make Yu-Gi-Oh stuff along with my 2K stuff. But let's jump into an Eldich battle and show you how my deck works if I draw the right hand. Alright, so here we go. I don't know how fast you guys have ever seen an Eldich deck lose, but I played this the other day. I was in tier 5. My man right here was in platinum tier 2. And this is the hand I drew. I didn't have that great of a hand, but I noticed right away that when he started to put his trap cards down at the first turn, it was more than likely going to be Eldich or some kind of trap that tries to get your life points down really quickly within one turn. So my main goal is to get my girl Sekka out right away. That way he cannot activate any other trap cards. Now this is going to definitely destroy Eldich. If they can't activate their trap cards, it's a wrap for them. As you can see, I'm able to attack right away. He can't activate anything that is out there at the time. He's pretty much stuck and he cannot play anything in those back row zones because I have Sekka out there and I don't have any face down cards in my back row. So he's pretty much stuck. Right now I'm getting ready to play my Pot of Desires because that is going to banish some cards and get me a ton of life points just in case it is a little bit faulty in my strategy and I fall somehow and he's able to get Sekka out of there with some kind of effect. So I'm honestly pretty much just cruising at this point of the battle. I'm just going to keep attacking until he's able to get Sekka out of there. There's really not much I have to worry about. So I'm going to play this strategy until figuring out what he's going to do. I still got Solemn Strike, Gravedigger's Trap Hole, Messenger of Peace, just to back me up in case something goes wrong. At this part of the battle, I did end up playing Mystical Space Typhoon because I wanted to make sure it was Eldich. I wanted to destroy one of the trap cards in C because I knew I had some backups that could help me out just in case. And just as I knew it was Eldich, he sends his Eldich monster to the graveyard, and right away I got that Monster Reborn to take him just so that he can't put him out on the field. I summoned him to my side, and that is pretty much all she wrote. There's nothing he can do. He cannot play any of his trap cards. He can't set any trap cards. He can't activate any of his set cards. So there's nothing he can do to finish this battle off, and he ends up losing. And that's how I was able to take down the Eldich with my non-meta deck. All right, let's get into another duel example. As you can see, we're still in platinum tier. They're in tier 1 and I'm in tier 2 during this, and I get to go first. And like I said, with this deck, if I get a good hand, I'm pretty good to go. And I love having either the Pot of Extravagance or the Pot of Desires just in case I do need to draw some extra cards, but sometimes you know that can get negated pretty easily. Solemn Judgment is definitely a good card to run in this kind of deck because you're always going to have something that can negate all things, because you're not going to have as many XYZs or, you know, fusion summons and all that have all these effects. You're not going to have all that. You got to just be able to use what you have at the time. So having good trap cards and stuff that'll be able to negate some stuff is good. Eater of Millions is one of my favorite cards to use because I can pretty much destroy any card out on the field, sending them to I can just banish them because of his effect. Most cards that say cannot be affected by other monsters' effects, he can still take them off of the field. So as you can see there, I played my whole hand, and usually I don't do that, but since I had Solemn Judgment, I didn't really have to worry about anything that he can come out with. Right away, he had evenly matched, which I'm glad I did have my Solemn Judgment, so I was able to just negate that right off the bat. I'm hardly ever worried about life points because I know I can build them up pretty easily based on how I like to banish things. So I'm trying to figure out what he's going to do. And I chose to not use my Solemn Judgment for that summon. I'm not going to use my Crackdown because I want to wait until he puts out everything. Sometimes I wait until they go battle phase, and then I'll try to take something from them, or I'll try to, you know, negate. But I do know Eater of Millions is going to be able to negate any attack if they go directly at me. So once he starts to bring out these fusions and XYZs and stuff like that, that's when I'm going to start taking stuff away. Anytime they're going to clear their board just to bring out one monster, that's when we're definitely going to start using our Solemn Judgments and things like that. Then we get my boy. This is actually my favorite card because look what he does to my Maja or my Maju. Allows me to get 9,200 attack by just banishing cards. Old school card, not in the meta decks, but able to get you some dubs, man. So if you guys like Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm not an expert at it, but I definitely would like to share more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Let me know if you want me to start putting more content out there. I appreciate you guys coming through. This is your boy RCA, non-meta, anti-meta, headed to Platinum Tier 1. Let's go.